Oh,
That's
a
the first thing you would say.
black girl. And I'm just like, that's kind of weird. Like that,
Yeah,
again, it makes me feel like an object. Like I'm not a fetish
right.
to satisfy your disgusting desires. No, I'm just
Yeah, you
kidding.
gross sicko.
I'm just a girl. And me personally, I feel like when I was single, girl, you could be green, purple. Like I'm just like, but again, that's just like I don't really have like a preference. So
Yeah, I don't have a preference either. Welcome to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends, the podcast where we explore life, career, relationships, and pop culture through a Christian conservative perspective. Each episode, we dive into deep topics that matter most to us women, from navigating your career with grace and confidence to watering meaningful relationships grounded in faith. We're here to empower you to embrace your femininity and stand firm in your beliefs. We'll also tackle the latest in pop culture, discussing how they align or clash with our values. Let's uncover the truth and encourage each other to live boldly and authentically. So whether you're at home or on your commute, get ready for some fabulous conversations. Grab your teacup, pour yourself some tea. Come on, girlies, we're changing culture. The views expressed on this podcast are our own and do not reflect our employers. Enjoy. Hello, everyone. You are listening to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends. I'm Mallory.
and I'm Isabel.
And we are changing culture, coughing, and bringing back traditional values. Welcome to the show.
Yay! Thanks, Mel.
I'm so happy to have you back in 2025. Before we are doing like a fun condensed show. As you can see, I'm like in a different setting. But before we do that, Isabel, can you just give us a quick anything exciting happened to you so far in the last 13 days of the year?
Oh, they said 13 years. I'm like, oh, a lot of stuff. Well, I went back to my color, my natural hair color. This is more like a little chocolate brown, but
It looks
yeah, that's
so
pretty much.
good.
Thank
It
you,
looks really
thank you.
good.
And I got my eyebrows done. So, but no, the year has been, it's been pretty smooth. Obviously, knock on wood. Yeah, just trying to get back into the swing of things. I really enjoyed the holidays, and yeah, I think the biggest thing is just going back to my darker hair, and that's probably the biggest update I have for you.
No, that's
But it's really
nice.
cold here in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it snowing
I say
there?
Texas. No. So
Okay.
Dallas did get some snow, but we're
Oh,
in Houston, so it's just really cold. However, I did hear that we're gonna have another cold front next week, and it's gonna be even worse. So I think we're gonna be in the 20s.
oh wow.
So yeah, I'm not excited about that. But yeah, all good stuff. Right now, I think it's just more of like I have a trip coming up, so that's all I can think about, and then my birthday. So I'm just kind of like, all right, that's like my other New Year, my
Yeah.
personal New Year. Yeah. What about you?
I've had a crazy couple of days. I've filled you in. I sent you a nice
Yes.
voice note. I have got to shake this cough. If anyone listening has
I
any,
know. I feel so
and
bad. Have you
like
been drinking tea?
I've been drinking tea. I've take cough drops. I drink lots of water, and like I don't have a fever. I had no runny nose. Like I feel completely fine. It's just like this cough. So
Okay, well, you might need to get checked because it could be something. Have you gone to the doctor and they've tested you for like pneumonia and stuff,
oh
bronchitis?
no, I
Uh,
don't know.
Mel, you need to go to the doctor. Seriously. Because that's even worse. Look at me. Well, I guess you don't have a fever. Look at me trying to be your doctor. But you need to go. You're so bad.
I know.
You're like my boyfriend. I'm like, babe, seriously? You need to go get you. He could be like his forehead could be like cracked open and he's like, I'm fine. I'm like, no, you need to literally go to the hospital.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know.
low key, the gash over my foot, I probably should have gotten stitches for. I don't know.
Well,
I
look at
don't,
me trying to be bigger, but remember when I stubbed my toe through
yes, yeah. And I'm pretty sure you did break your toe. So,
Well, I did go to the ER, but the guy was like $400. I'm like $400? No, me and my toe are good.
yeah. I mean,
Mm-mm.
it's like, I don't know. I don't like doctors. I don't like stuff like that.
Yeah, but no, but definitely get it checked out. You don't want to have something because then you could just treat it with antibiotics. Look at me. I'm like,
That's true. I
just
mean,
call me Dr. Isabel.
it could be something. I feel like it's just like weird. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's what's
Okay,
going
sorry.
on with me. And I'm out of town for work ish
I'm out of town.
things. Yeah, it's complicated. It's just been a crazy couple of weeks for me. on a personal note, and I'll leave it at that. One day I'll
Right, right.
share more. But yeah, so
We love it. We've got a pink Stanley, so
yes,
things are going up.
yeah,
Sometimes you gotta celebrate the small wins,
for
I'm like, I
sure,
didn't cry today, or
for
I only cried once
sure,
once a week. So
yeah.
you gotta celebrate those small wins, sister.
My
Uh,
playlist was pretty good. This coming up
yes,
year to work, so that was nice. The small things.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said,
So
sometimes doing your hair, doing your makeup, like it just makes a world of a difference and all that good stuff.
yeah,
So,
totally agree. Um,
yep.
I guess we should just go ahead and get into the stories. There's a story like I've been wanting to talk about since like I saw it, so I'm really excited. I also want us to get back to doing our like clinking toasting. So, do you
Oh,
have a drink with
yay.
you? Okay,
I
everyone.
do.
Now we're about to get into the stories for today, and
Yay, cheers.
cheers, clink. Okay,
I
so
like how you do the sound effects. You're like,
I
clink.
know I have a sound effect now too, so I'll do
Remember I told you, I'd be like, I'm just a girl.
literally
Literally.
just a girl. So no, I mean, I my whole life has been just a girl for the last couple of weeks. That's why I don't go to the doctor because I'm just a girl. Like I don't anyway. Um, I'm going to insert a video here. Insert video, Mallory Future. Okay, so we watched the video, and Mike. So in the video, sorry, let me pull up the docket. In the video,
No, you're
she
fine.
talked about Meg Thee Stallion, Taylor Swift, and how their boyfriends essentially are not dating people that they normally date. Okay,
Oh,
so the question of the hour. This is the big question that I'm asking everyone. Would you see it as a red flag if your boyfriend showed you pictures of his exes and they look like the exact opposite of you? You can go first.
okay, so I was thinking about this before we got on, and I do have like mixed feelings only because I feel like it's kind of hard to generalize people, right? But I do think that so it makes me feel some type of way if a guy says, for example, I can only talk from my experience. If a guy says, "Oh, I only date Latinas or whatever," because I also feel like, okay, are you just looking for that type? Like, is that like a fetish?
Yeah,
Or like, are you just really drawn to girls with dark hair and tan skin,
yeah,
which there's nothing wrong with that. People have preferences, like that's fine. But
right.
I do think there's like a fine line. So I wouldn't necessarily say a red flag, but maybe like what's the middle flag? Is it a beige
A
flag?
yellow. No, beige is
A
good.
yellow?
Yellow, a yellow.
Beige? Okay, I don't know, but the middle one because I don't necessarily think it's a green flag. I think it's also maybe like, but I also don't think maybe it's a complete red flag only because sometimes you do have preferences. But like I said, it can get weird if someone's just like, oh, so fixated on how you look, and it's like, okay, do you like me as a person, or do you like me because you date Latinas and that's all you know? But yes, I am a little bit cautious if someone hasn't dated, like if I look at your ex-partners and they don't look anything like me, it kind of does kind of ring some bells, and you're just like, okay, like, are you just trying to get out there, or am I like
Right.
your last resort, or is more
Right.
like opposites attract? I don't know. So it's like you kind of have to like, I don't know. It's like a based, I guess, on experience and individuality.
Yeah.
But like, for example, me personally, I never thought I would date my boyfriend, right? Just like for different reasons, I didn't think, I would ever date like a Persian guy or something. But, you know, that's why maybe they're like, I have realized that a lot of women or men are like, hey, I never thought I was gonna date someone based on like textbook, right? Like they were just not I prefer someone with darker hair or whatever. And then next thing you know, they end up marrying someone total opposite. So that's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily a red flag, but then it's also kind of like, okay, what are you doing? It does raise
Mm-hmm.
some questions, and I'm kind of just like, I'm keeping an eye on you. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like my little 2 cents in the whole situation. What about you? I feel like,
Okay.
again, maybe, I mean, obviously, maybe that's the same thing with black girls, right? Like a lot of guys are
That's what I
like,
was.
oh,
That's
a
the first
black
thing I was
girl,
saying.
black
Mm-hmm.
girl. And I'm just like, that's kind of weird. Like that,
Yeah.
again, it makes me feel like an object. Like I'm not a fetish
Right.
to satisfy your disgusting desires. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
You gross sicko.
I'm just a girl. And me personally, I feel like when I was single, girl, you could be green, purple. Like I'm just like, but again, that's just my like. I don't really have like a preference. So
Yeah, I don't have a preference either. So
well, I didn't have a preference.
yeah, now you prefer your current boyfriend, which is good. That's good to hear.
Right, right. I don't want anybody else.
Um,
If you're listening, babe, I'm
so
just kidding. I'm just a girl. You go, Michael. I'm so sorry.
every time I laugh, I cough.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so 1 second, everybody.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like the worst for you to have a podcast episode.
No, no, no. You're funny. You're good. Okay, so my thoughts. I'll talk about what you said first. I didn't even think of the opposite of that. Okay,
Yeah.
1 second.
Okay, guys, we're back.
I can cut out because it'll mute. I can
I'll
cut it out.
take the lead, sister.
Yeah, yeah. If I like mute myself, like just start yapping about something.
I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna sing. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Oh my
Yay.
god.
Not our fearless leader.
Right. That's why I have to get rid of this cough because like it's my favorite thing to do is to talk, and if I can't talk, like what's anyway. Okay, so my two thoughts. So the first one to talk about what you said. Okay, so two things. First I want to talk about like what you said initially.
Okay.
About
The fetish. Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh,
There. Oh,
there
I
we
can
go.
hear you now.
Okay.
I can hear you.
I went on a date with this guy once, and he was a white guy.
Wait, are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is it, or it actually doesn't look like it's recording for you. It
I'm
says
like, are
you're
we on?
uploaded.
Okay.
Is
No,
yours?
I think we are.
Does it say you're recording? Do you have the record
Well,
thing?
yeah. Well, the little timer's on 44 seconds, 45.
Okay, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, God, please just let this work. We're just girls. We just want to
I
make
know,
this art.
please.
God, please. Okay, so let me just start over. And scene. Okay, so I want to talk about
Yeah,
like what you said at the beginning about the fetish thing.
Yes.
So I went on a date once with this white guy, and during the date, he made the comment that like he only dates black girls, and he could marry a white girl. Like, oh God, no, I would never date white girls. I only date black girls, and it honestly made me very uncomfortable. This was in college. It honestly made me very uncomfortable. I was just kind of like, okay, like this isn't because like there's a difference between like you just happen to date black girls and like you date black girls because you hate white girls, and it just was it was weird. It made me feel icky, like I don't like this. So there's that side of it because there is like everybody can have preferences. I couldn't care less about someone's preference. I personally don't have any preferences, but that's that's my own thing going on. But like anybody can have preferences, whatever. But like I do think there is something to be said, like if you are intentionally, I don't know, it just feels weird. It just feels icky. If you,
Yeah, like I said, it feels weird. It's also like it feels weird knowing that. Like sometimes some things should be left unsaid. But if you're like, I only date blah blah blah, and then like describing you to a T, you're kind of like, that's kind of weird and creepy.
Yeah, but then on the other side, it's weird. So like to me, that's a red flag. Like if someone's like, oh, I only date black girls, I could never date a white girl. That's a red flag. But the other side is kind of a yellow flag. I'm gonna share a story. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to
guys,
cough.
we're just having all kinds of difficulties tonight.
All kinds of technical difficulties.
Through.
Yes.
The enemy won't win.
The enemy will not win. This will be a successful podcast.
Yes, it will.
So this is gonna sound like a sad story, but like I don't want you to think it's a sad story. It's just an anecdotal life lesson. So in my last boyfriend, he showed me I believe it was like 3 of his exes. Sorry. He showed me like 3 of his exes. And they were taller than me, skinnier than me, really long hair, straight hair, really straight long hair, and they were white, as I am black, for those who are just listening. Those were all of his exes. And at the time, I was like, it's saying you stopped recording. Did a little storage.
I didn't say anything on my end.
Okay. I guess let's just keep going. So they said that. So these are all opposites of me. I'm not white. I don't have long hair. I am not skinny, and I'm not tall. So at the time, I'm like, that does feel a little weird. Like you literally went to the exact opposite, but I'm not going to think too much into it because I think there is something to say. Like people do that and like have beautiful, lovely, happy lives. But I later found out that he actually, part of the reason why we broke up was because he actually never found me beautiful, right? Because his type was the other type, which is fine. everybody has their own type. You can like whatever you like. But my point of bringing this up is like, I think a lot of times,
Beautiful,
like,
Mel.
thank you. But I think that wasn't the reason why I brought up the story. But thank you for the compliment. I will receive it. And if anyone else wants a compliment, I will receive it as well. Thank you. No, but like, the point I bring that up is because I do think guys, like specifically guys, have
Yeah.
types. Like I do think, and it doesn't necessarily have to be race. It doesn't necessarily have to be hair color, but guys do have
And
types, and I
and I
do think something
wonder,
to say about it.
and another point you got me thinking of is like I don't even know if they are aware that hey, you're talking to someone that's like not typically your type or whatever. Like, is it just for fun? Like, I want to know their
Right,
motives. Is it just for fun? Is it just to I want to trick her? I want to see if she falls for it, or I don't know. Like,
right,
or it's like if you go on a date with someone, right? Like, obviously, dating apps and stuff. I'm sure. I don't know about now. Obviously, I'm not single, but back then, it's like I know all the girlies were like, "Oh, you're going on a date with someone. You find their social media, and all of a sudden, all the girls they're following don't look like you. So you're kind of like, why is he on a date with me? Like, it
yeah,
just doesn't build a good case for the guy.
no,
I think, you know what I mean? Because you're
yeah,
like, why are you going way off your typical, type? And again, it could be as innocent as I want to, you know, I don't want to discriminate or whatever. I want to go outside my typical box, which is
yeah,
fine. But I think, like you said, it's weird when they're like, oh, I only date black girls, I only date Latinas. Like, I think when you say it and you vocalize it, and I just think it's a little weird. And
yeah,
or guys that say, oh, I want natural girls, but then their following is like all girls with fake
yeah,
boobs and like that's fine. Like, don't lie to me. Like, don't you don't have
right,
to. That's the thing. It's like, don't lie to me and say, oh, I want skinny girls or whatever. I could be the opposite, right? Some guys don't like the skinny petite kind. They like
right,
their
right,
women bigger and curvier, which is fine. I'm just not that girl. So don't waste my time and don't
right,
lie to me. And
right,
just don't. Now I'm getting heated because I'm getting like flashbacks. It's like, don't lie to me. Like, I don't care. Like
right,
I always tell my sisters, it's like I feel like a lot of people tell on themselves. Like, they say things, and it actually you're digging yourself into a bigger hole. It's like if you wouldn't have said anything, I wouldn't have thought otherwise. But yeah, I think to your point, it's a little weird and gross, and you're just kind of like, ew, I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to be another one on your
yeah.
list. And if it's two way off, I'm just like, okay, what are you doing with me? Like, what are your intentions? Like,
Yeah. And the
I
thing
don't.
is, like, no one is owed anyone to like them. Like, if someone is like, I
Right,
don't like
right.
you
Just
because I have a preference for something else, that is fine. Like, that, like,
just leave us
don't, yeah, leave
alone.
it alone. Just go about your business. Like, don't include whatever is going on with you, don't
That's the
include me.
worst. It's
Yeah.
like it's like some people are like evil. Like, yeah, let me date you, even though you don't look like the what how I want you to look for whatever preference. And then they're like, wait, I hate you now because I don't like you, and I actually don't like you. So why are you liking me? It's like, what? You could have just left me alone
Right,
this whole
right,
time. That used to bug me so much. It's like I was in my own little bubble. You didn't have to come into my bubble. Nobody
right.
asked you. So like you can't. Yeah, you can't do something and then say, oh, and then just backtrack. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said,
agreed.
I think it's like it either works out like, oh my gosh, you guys are soulmates and get married, or more often than not, it's the opposite, and you're just like run away, run away. You saw it coming. You
Yeah.
didn't even look like the girls he typically goes for.
And like the example they
Oh,
used was like Taylor Swift. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw like who Travis Kelsey used to date, I was like, oh, this is a
I
little weird. But I mean it's working for them. So like who cares for them? But I do think like
think
I
it was
do
like
think
poking me.
what?
Sorry, something was like poking my arm.
Oh,
Sorry.
good. I do think there is some like wisdom of just not necessarily a red flag, but a yellow flag. Like, okay, this is a little odd. I look like the exact opposite of what you normally go for. That's just my thoughts.
Exactly.
So that is the first story. Pretty spicy. Let us know your thoughts. Like, is that a yellow flag, red flag to you? What do you think?
Or beige. Just kidding.
Or yeah, beige, yellow, however you feel, let us know. Um, next story. It's not really a well, I guess it's a story that I can read. TikTok is about to be banned. What does that mean? January 19th is the deadline, so 6 days from when you guys listen to this,
Oh yes.
TikTok will no longer be there. Isabel, what are your thoughts?
I just think it's crazy that we have so much going on right now, and the government's priority is to ban TikTok. It's like out of the whole time you guys had the opportunity to ban it, you decided to do it this week, this monumental week. I don't know. I just feel like we have so much crap to worry about. It's like
Right.
TikTok was at the top of your list. And I do feel like, in a way, TikTok, when I got on the app today, it was funny because it just feels like America's healing and we're all just one we're in the clear. We all fan.
Yeah. And everybody's
Uh,
doing like goodbye speeches. Like people who I
yeah.
follow in America are like,
I'm
you
like,
guys are so great.
I'm not popular or cool to do one of those videos. Like, follow me, but Instagram. If TikTok is taken down, they'll be like, who are you? I feel like if I posted that video, they'd be like, who are you? But no, I honestly, it was funny because I do think like if you were never got on the TikTok train, you just don't get it. And to be honest, I was not that active on TikTok till maybe a few months ago, maybe like half a year ago. So my perspective has changed. At first, I was like, I don't care, they can ban it, whatever, whatever. But then once I became a consumer and I was on TikTok and I was like, oh my God, like this is actually so much better than Instagram. Like I think Instagram, and I have a whole freaking don't this is like riles, not riles, what is it called? This like whatever
Riles you up.
riles me up. Okay, yeah, because I'm like, I realize like Instagram is it's just such completely different audiences. Like TikTok is where we went to like take your hair down and record yourself in a non-aesthetic background and no one's really judging you. And if they do, they're weird. And they were the outcast, right? But it's like TikTok is more like when you come home and you let your hair down and you just talk to your friends. It's kind of like being on FaceTime. And I think like Instagram has shifted so much to where like it's pretty much gone to crap. And like I was just telling my close friends and my sister, I'm like, I just can't get with Instagram. And obviously as a content creator, obviously like part-time, I've never gone full-time. And honestly now looking back at things, it's like I'm kind of glad I didn't go
Yeah, no,
full-time.
seriously.
But anyways, it's just like yeah, like Instagram is just so weird. Like I tell my sister, it's not like I'm shy to talk in front of the camera. It's just I'm more aware, and I don't know if it's like an age thing, but I'm just more aware of like people's energies and just like kind of protecting my peace. And I just feel like Instagram is so much different than TikTok. Like Instagram, you got people that you've met for like a long time since high school or whatever, never support you, never like your comment, never like, never comment, never share your post, and it's like they view your story, they want to know what you're up to, they want to know what you're doing, but they don't really care about actually supporting you. And it just becomes an app where people are trying to live up to these like aesthetically pleasing non I don't know, like false realities, like, or live
Yeah.
up to a lifestyle that they don't really have. Myself included, I think we can all fall into the trap of doing that. But anyways, in TikTok, it's like you don't have to have perfect pictures. You don't have to it's not even pictures. It's like videos, short clips, people talking,
Right.
people connecting. So it does kind of suck that that's kind of where they're prioritizing the ban. And honestly, I don't think a lot of people, there was a lot of talk and I don't think people really thought that that app is actually, on the brink of, extinction. And now that they're like, oh crap, I think it really is going to get banned. Everyone's like, what the heck do we do? And let's do our kumbaya.
Yeah.
Hug each other one last time. Like, they're like, the comments are killing me though. I've seen comments, that other app, I think it's like an actual Chinese owned app,
Which one? I
Red
haven't seen
Box.
that one.
Oh
No.
girl, go look at my repost. It was hilarious. So
Uh-huh.
it's actually a China based app, and people in the comments were like, man, they're like, this is our version of dumping tea. You know how like, how
In the
America, we
harbor.
got
Yeah.
independence. Like, this is our version. Like, let's Uno reverse, guys. Or like, let's join this app. So that app apparently is the number one downloaded app currently in the App Store.
Okay.
It's actually owned by China. And we're laughing because they're like they want to ban TikTok because apparently it goes against privacy and whatever. I forgot the terminology, but
Yeah, like the
it
road.
was funny. Yes, so they're like let's all get into that app, and it was just funny. They're like, man, this feels like we're having to switch schools. It's like you gotta
That's
tread
funny.
lightly.
That's
They're like
funny.
you gotta tread lightly getting into these apps. They're like, man, guys, I can't believe we're the foreigners now because obviously that app is a bunch of like Asian influencers and stuff. So, anyways, I have mixed feelings about it. Obviously, I'm not. It won't personally affect me. Like I said, I'm nobody on TikTok, but I think as a whole, I do think that it sucks that people think it's just the influencers that are gonna that okay they'll be fine, they're rich, yeah, but what about the small business owners, what about the small like businesses, content creators that literally make side incomes? Like I'm sorry, but 500, $600 is a significant amount
A
to have,
hundred percent.
especially during these times,
A
mind
hundred
you,
percent. A
during these
hundred
times. And
percent.
I feel like the government is basically saying, yeah, F y'all. You can't afford a home, we're banning TikTok. You can't afford your healthcare, we're banning TikTok. It's like,
Yeah,
and the sketchy part is they can't come together for one thing, but they want to come together to ban TikTok.
yeah.
So
It's such a it's a weird
it's
position to be
complex.
in. It's complex. Complex is a
Yeah.
good word to describe it.
It's this is my corporate lingo. It's multifaceted.
That was a good word. That was a good word. It
It's good.
is because they're partially right.
Right.
It is being used in that way. So like what, or it can be. Fine. That's
Yeah.
but like they, I mean, they make ways around other things. So like I don't know, like figure
Right.
something out, and it is hurting people who are small business owners. Like I'm sorry, you just can't grow like you can grow on TikTok like you can on other social
Hmm.
medias. You just can't. I'm sorry, that's just not how the algorithm works.
And the
I
algorithm's so good.
right.
You know?
And I will say though, this kind of leads to the last story. Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, they are changing their algorithm. So I mean, maybe like it's such an interesting from like
Maybe
a
Instagram will come back from the dead, but so far people hate. The thing is, I think it's a drastic. Like people that love TikTok hate Instagram.
oh yeah
There's not a lot of people that kind of are in the mix. I feel like I'm one of those because I still like to connect with my followers on Instagram. I still have like my own community, my true like OG followers. But, because I'm not big on TikTok, but I guess if you're big on TikTok, then you're like, why the hell, why I go back to Instagram, you know?
yeah because you just can't grow as fast. You can't grow as fast. You can't. The algorithm is just not the same.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep cutting you off, Mel.
No, you're good. How you're discovered and stuff like that just isn't the same. On Instagram as it is on TikTok. But Zuckerberg did say, and I'll link the article. I can't read it because I'm coughing forever. But I'll link the article. I'm explaining like some of the changes. And I do think a positive side, accounts like this one that talk about politics and like more controversial stuff, I do think we will have a better chance in
Like
the
a
new
rise.
algorithm. Yeah, I do think that will affect it because, like, I mean, with their fact checkers and all this other stuff, it
Yeah.
really affected the growth. Like looking back, I'm like, why is those are the girls kind of not growing? But I do think it's like we say controversial things, and sometimes it's political. And I do think because of their
It gets
algorithm,
flagged.
it gets flagged. But he said he's getting rid of that type of stuff. So I do think it'll be good and positive for us. And I do think some of the people on TikTok will benefit from coming over to Instagram. The thing is, though, like you can't you can't like replicate what happened on TikTok. I think that's because TikTok is so. I
It
fixed my
has its own
algorithm.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've talked about this before. I fixed my algorithm. Now it's like a bunch of comedians and like it's so jovial. Like I love it, and like people are saying that.
It's so laid back. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like I said, honestly, as a consumer, I go on TikTok. I go find recipes. I go laugh. If I want to see like a mini series for like crime podcasts, I go there. Like, I don't know. I like it. I like that it's very short, but also long enough to like, if you need to watch something really quick and you're in between your lunch break or something or whatever, you need to, kill some time. It's nice to have it. But more, like I said, more than Instagram. Like I said, I post, I interact on stories and I get out and then I jump onto TikTok and I actually consume the content and look for, like I said, ideas, recipes, DIY, all that stuff. So I'm just kind of like you said, I hope there's a way around it to where like we don't lose the app, but also yes, we protect our privacy and our data. Um,
I just want there's a
but
way
yeah, I
around
just
this.
feel
Like
like,
I feel like the government can figure this out. I mean, I don't know how. Like, don't come to me, but like they can.
and also what's the rush? What's the rush? Like, what is it about this week, this January? It's like, oh, Happy New Year, we're taking TikTok. The other thing I'll say is like, I don't want this to become like a monopoly of like, if me and my boyfriend were talking about it, of like one single person owning all social media platforms. I think that can get dangerous. And he was even telling me about Elon and was like, would you be
Don't get me
comfortable
started on that
with,
man.
girl, he's like, would you be comfortable if Elon bought TikTok or whatever? And I'm like, as much as he says he's for the people and blah blah blah, I'm just like, I don't trust anyone to have all the power because you just don't know people's motives. Like, only God knows our true motives. So,
Remember today, I have been telling y'all, Elon Musk is not to be.
I just, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm like, I
Yeah,
love my life. I'm like, I love my life.
right. That's true. That's
But
true. Elon is
I just
okay.
think that,
Yes.
exactly. But I just think that like one person having all the power is a little, well, not a little, it's scary. And
100%.
the same thing with like, yeah. Anyways, we'll leave it at that. But yeah, hopefully they find like, a middle ground and the app doesn't get, well, technically it's not going to be illegal to have the app. They're just not
Right.
going to do updates. They're not going to
Yeah.
do updates. Like no one's going to come to your house and be like, do you have the TikTok app? But they're not going to have updates. They're not going to be able to fix the bugs and stuff. It's funny when they say bugs, I think of like actual bugs, but they're like, oh, bugs from the software.
Yeah. No, no, not real
Um,
bugs. Don't worry about the real bugs, everyone.
I'm just a girl. But yeah, so RIP TikTok. It was good
R.I.P.
while it lasted.
TikTok. Baby, there's no
So,
more TikTok. Have you seen those? Mommy, I want to
uh,
fly. Have you seen those TikToks? Mommy, I want to
oh,
fly on a
yes, yes, yes.
plane.
They're
Baby,
like,
there's no more plane. Yeah, that's what we're
one
telling
of
our
them said,
kids.
me to TikTok by Shayla.
That's funny. That is funny.
Shayla. People are hilarious. I wish I could just like put a little screenshot and just show you guys the comments that make me laugh. I swear, I get on that app and I'm just like cackling. I'm like ugly double
Seriously.
chin laughing. Like I love it. It makes me feel like a kid because everyone's so unserious.
I mean,
And like I said, Instagram would just not get it. They wouldn't.
no,
They
no,
wouldn't.
no. And I'm thinking about this. It's this video that, like, every time I see it, it just makes me laugh and smile. These kids are like pretending their friend went to. I'm gonna sound weird saying it, but like you got to look it up. Their friend pretends he wants to work as a executioner. So he used them
What?
as a reference, and like the jokes they were doing. It's just like you don't
Oh,
find that on Instagram. That's strictly
you don't.
TikTok.
And
And then at the end they're
they're
like
like,
dancing. It's so funny. And it's
I
like
know. And
it's just
people are
so
like, I'm not about
funny.
to. And people are like, I'm not about to do that for reels. Like they're like, I'm not making any reels because it sucks. Like it literally does suck.
Yeah. So
And I was just getting TikTok famous. No, I'm just kidding.
same. Well, I mean, our the podcast page was doing pretty good. Like, there's people who
Yeah.
follow the podcast page that I don't know, which is big. Like, when strangers follow, that's when you know it's getting good. So I'm like, dang, like, I
I
need
was like,
to.
I was just getting famous.
Yeah, I mean,
Literally, my first video, I finally cracked the code. My first video that went like viral was like 11,000 views, or no, I think 12,000, which is huge because I literally got like 30 likes, and half of them
yeah,
were my actual friends. But yeah, I'm like, it's just starting to get good because it is a switch. Like if you're coming from Instagram, like me, I was trying to make it into TikTok. You have to switch gears. What works on Instagram doesn't necessarily work on TikTok. It's always those
100%.
trendy videos and that are like super short and or controversial. That's how you go viral. And I think that's why people stay crazy stuff because that's what the algorithm encourages.
Yeah, and
So
yeah. Well, let's see what happens. I also heard someone say like it might be banned January 19th, and then like by February 1st they'll have it figured out and we'll be fine. So
I know.
we'll see.
We'll see. We said the same thing.
We'll see. I mean,
Which
who
ones?
knows? My Shayla, I guess.
Shayla. But yes,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a girl. Speaking of, I will say the Korean skincare is doing wonders to my skin, guys.
Ooh, what have you been using? We'll wrap it up on that. What have you been
Yeah, we'll
using?
wrap it up on a happy note. I'm like, happy note, talking about me. Happy note. Let's all the attention goes to me. No, I'm just kidding. No, I've been using this. I forgot what it's called, but it's Korean skincare. I would have to link it, but they sent it in a PR package, and I was like, what is this? I forgot I had a package coming,
Okay,
and then I
PR
was like, oh,
package. Okay.
PR packages, and then just a little trick to get your eyebrows tinted. Like I only have lip gloss on.
Okay,
I'm
queen.
trying to be minimalistic here. I'm trying for the pores to be closed and
Yeah.
good
You look
for all that
good.
stuff. Thank
Okay.
you, thank you. I got
Okay.
my light now, so don't you worry, Queen.
Love
We
it,
will be
love
back
it.
in business. Hopefully, we do more episodes 2025. And
Yes.
yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
And I'll stop coughing so I won't be muted every 5 seconds.
Yeah,
And
I'm
yeah,
literally gonna
well,
FaceTime you for you to go to the doctor.
yeah, I will. I will eventually. I just, I don't know why. I don't like going to the doctors because I guess I feel like, I mean, what are they gonna say?
I
Drink some
know.
water? I don't know. Anyway, let's anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let us know, what do you think? Do you think that it's a red flag if your boyfriend has exes that look nothing like you, or if they all look just like you? What are your thoughts? Let us know. Are you excited for TikTok banning? Make sure you follow us wherever you follow things. If you came and found us through TikTok, make sure you follow us on Instagram and all that other jazz. Anything else you want to add?
Nope, just follow us on Instagram. And if you want to follow me, Style and Smile with a double E on Instagram. And I guess, I don't know, TikTok for the little while we have left.
I have it all linked as well, everyone.
Yay!
All right. So I guess have a good day, night, evening, however, wherever you're listening. Bye.